Great seeing you here again. My name is Luc de Kuster, founder of the Kuster Academy, and in this video I will discuss the point where waterfall fails. We will look deeper into the problems we can have with the waterfall approach and find reasons why an agile approach can be more interesting in certain cases. But before we continue, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and whenever we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. So let's have a look at the failure of waterfall. Now, we have a long time to plan. That's one of the elements that we have. So we plan everything. It takes a long time before we can start with the execution. And basically what we do, we plan the work and work the plan. This was also done in operations management. We plan the work to be done and we work the plan. We execute the plan, and that led to a lot of issues there. Now, when we look at planning, cost, and on progress, these are the elements that we are focused on in waterfall. We are not focusing on intermediate working solutions. Basically, we will only see something that is working at the end of the project. There is no working solution, so we create all these parts that have to be assembled later to create the service or the product. And there is a lot of effort just to keep track of the work, evaluate data, keep the documents up to date, but these things do not create value. I don't say we don't have to keep track, we don't have to evaluate the data, we don't have to make documents. I'm not saying that. We need documents, but in the classical world of waterfall, there is a lot of effort put in these things. And doing these things, it's what we call no value that's been added to what we're doing. We know this phenomenon in operations. When you're doing work, you're looking at value stream mapping. It's the same here. We have to see where do we add value. And in waterfall, we don't really look at the parts where we create value. We create value when the project is finished. Now we'll look at the perfect world versus reality. The project is done in a perfect world, and I always get a little bit scary and a little bit frightened when people say in a perfect world this would happen. And the Japanese approach, when we look at Kaizen, they say there is no perfect world. We have to adjust. We have to deal with the changes. And the perfect world would say we make a detailed plan to foresee everything. We look at micromanagement of the project. We look at Gantt charts, the critical path method. They're important, but in some cases, we are in fact micromanaging the project. We cannot change so easily. It has an impact on all the things we're doing, all the tasks that have to be changed, all the work that we did has to be done again. And there is no creativity when new ideas or technologies become available. We cannot integrate it. Now, when we look at the real world, where we have to look at when we are planning, we have creativity and uncertainty there at the basis. The second thing is that we have a constant re-evaluation to verify that you are still doing what the customer wants. You have to verify, are we still on track? Not according to cost and time. No, are we still developing things that the customer wants and needs? We're looking at constant improvements and we control and adjust. Basically, we use the plan, do, check, act cycle or the Deming wheel that we know from quality management. We plan something, we do it, we check, we verify, and then we act and we do the cycle again. When do we apply waterfall? When is the waterfall approach a good approach? First of all, we have to see that the requirements are very well known. The product definition has to be stable. We understand the technology. There are no ambiguous requirements. We have the necessary resources with expertise that we need to do the job. And the project is of a short duration. Now, when we look at large infrastructure projects, we also can apply waterfall because we have all the other parameters that are basically understood. Now, even in construction work where we have a lot of plans, we can still find elements that we have to change. When we were building some installations, one of the things that we have to take into account was the soil. We did soil testing, but when you look at the project, you could find a local spot where there were problems with the resistance of the soil. And then you have to foresee something. These things have been integrated in the contracts. So in case you find that something is wrong, you can adjust the foundations. You can take out the part which is bad and replace it by a more stable substance, more stable ground. All these things are important. It's very good to understand when we can apply waterfall and when we should not apply waterfall. So that was it for this video. I'm looking forward to seeing in the next video, but before you leave, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. I thank you very much, and bye-bye.